You step off the ship, sun shining, suitcase rolling, cruise card in hand. But what you don't see is the eyes that are locked on you. Cruise port thieves are masters at blending in, and they already know who they're going to strike. And this is how they choose their victims and how you can avoid them. 1. Security checkpoint at cruise terminal. The moment you walk into the cruise terminal, you relax. What could possibly go wrong with cameras, scanners, and guards everywhere? But that illusion of safety is exactly what thieves rely on. Imagine yourself balancing your phone, passports, carry-ons, even restraining family members. You're asked to unload everything on the conveyor belt for security personnel. Your gaze abruptly lifts away from your luggage only for a few seconds, and that's all it takes for an experienced thief to unzip a pocket, slide your backpack forward, or replace it with a fake. Your safe possessions are already compromised by the time you pass through the scanner. The worst part is that security personnel aren't searching for theft. They're looking for prohibited items and beverages. The thieves are aware of this. They appear to be simply another stressed-out traveler fumbling with shoes or electronics. Here's how you resolve this. Valuables should always be loaded last, so they exit first. Hold on to your baggage until it disappears under the scanner, then quickly grab it on the other side. Never leave the terminal, never turn your back, and never think that the safety net has you covered, because thieves always count on that. 2. Public restrooms in ports. You think that a brief trip to the restroom is harmless, right? But cruise port restrooms are surprisingly risky spots for thieves. When passengers are juggling strollers, coats, or simply want to get in and out fast, they frequently leave their luggage on the floor or swinging from hooks. Imagine this. I was observing tourists in a busy Caribbean port. A solo passenger walked into a stall, set a tote down right in front of them, and then a minute later, just a flick of the hand under the stall door and the bag was gone. The victim didn't have time to react, and by the time they exited, the thief had vanished into the crowd. Distraction is what makes it so risky. You're juggling zippers, holding doors, maybe even looking at your phone while you wait, and thieves count on that. They're watching for any passengers who can't physically control their belongings. It's important to always stay connected to your bags. You can either keep a carry-on upright with your foot through the handle or loop a backpack strap around your leg. Going on a trip with a friend, one enters while the other remains outdoors. Never ask someone you don't know to watch your stuff. It's nearly impossible for criminals to succeed with small changes like this, and these small habits always work. 3. Shops, duty-free, and open markets. Cruise ports are buzzing with activity. Duty-free shops, souvenir stands, local markets, and for most travelers, it's paradise. However, it's a playground for thieves. You're occupied with juggling your bags, counting local currency, and comparing items. And as you try on jewelry or examine sunglasses, your focus is divided. That's the precise moment that pickpockets attack. Seldom do they grab right in front of you. Frequently, one will bump into you, and then the other diverts your attention with a question, and then a third steals your phone or wallet out of your bag. This is so smooth it could go completely unnoticed until you're back on the ship. Crowded spaces amplify the risk. Travelers who leave their purses hanging, carry their bags loosely, or keep their wallets in their back pockets are all targets for thieves. They look for signs of reluctance or disinterest. You must keep a cross-body bag in front of you. Only carry what you need and don't flash large bills when paying. If possible, separate cash from cards so that a single grab isn't catastrophic. Even in bustling marketplaces, a few mindful adjustments make you far less appealing than the next distracted passenger. 4. Cruise port lounges and waiting area. Before boarding, travelers frequently unwind at port lounges after passing security. But that's exactly when the travelers let their guard down, leaving phones and wallets on tables. In under 5 seconds, I witnessed a man slide a tote from behind a chair. Meanwhile, the owner was drinking coffee. Moments like these, charging phones, munching on snacks, or checking out your social media, that's common in lounges, and thieves are looking for relaxed travelers, those who assume they're safe because of visible security. Even a glance away is enough to create opportunity. Bags should be kept on your lap or between your feet. Wallets and phones should never be left on tables unattended. Take everything with you if you're stepping away for a short time, and keep even a small amount of contact with your possessions, making it obvious that you are a difficult target. Most thieves will leave you alone rather than compromise themselves. 5. Taxi, shuttle, and tour pickup zones. Exiting the terminal, travelers are focused on finding their rides, and the bustle of taxis, shuttles, and ride-sharing vehicles creates a perfect distraction for thieves. In Barcelona and the Caribbean, I've witnessed numerous passengers being contacted by fake taxi drivers. They appear official, they wear the reflective vests, and carry clipboards. Without questioning authority, passengers frequently turn in their bags just to have them stolen or exchanged. These moments are particularly appealing to thieves. Thieves target predictable patterns, someone looking lost, distracted, or managing too many bags. A quick slopper, staged help can cost hundreds, even thousands. Remember to always use official taxi stands or pre-booked rides. Verify the driver's license before handing over the bags. No matter how courteous they may seem, and never accept unsolicited assistance from strangers. Until you're safely in the car, keep your valuables close at hand and protected. Simple vigilance turns a potentially disastrous moment into a minor inconvenience. 6. Excursion buses and day tours. Excursions are exciting, but they're also high risk for theft, both at port and on board. Imagine stepping off the ship and boarding a bus tour packed with fellow passengers. Distracted by the sights and schedules, everyone's balancing cameras, tickets, and backpacks. Thieves know exactly when people are most vulnerable, boarding, exiting, or stowing luggage in underseat compartments. At ports, buses waiting for excursions may leave bags unattended while passengers take photos or buy snacks. Onboard shuttle buses, luggage racks may be out of direct sight. Even a few seconds is just enough for a skilled thief to grab a wallet, phone, or camera without anybody noticing. Keep valuables in small, secure crossbody bags or a waist pouch. Physically connect the bag to yourself. Strap it around your leg or hold it close, and if possible, keep electronics and passports in the cabin safe until you need them. Observing routines, scanning for suspicious behavior, and minimizing unattended times drastically reduces the chance of being targeted during excursions. Awareness and preparation make you a difficult mark for thieves, whether boarding a bus at the port or traveling with the ship's organized tours. 7. Onboard ship lounges and pool decks. Ship lounges and pool decks are relaxing spaces, but they're full of distractions that thieves exploit. Passengers leave phones, bags, or towels close by while they swim, converse, or play games on a sunny deck or in a lounge during happy hour. Similar dangers exist in port waiting areas. Unsecured items or bags under chairs are prime targets. Thieves pay close attention. They observe passengers distracted by discussion, sunbathing, or message checking, as well as unattended items. Your wallet or luggage could be stolen by the time you turn away. A fun-filled day can get ruined by small thefts, like phones or sunglasses going missing. Keep belongings physically connected to yourself. Use that crossbody bag, clip zippers together, or keep items between your feet. At ports, don't leave bags unattended on benches or chairs. Small, consistent precautions make a huge difference. By staying aware, whether on the ship's deck or relaxing in a port lounge, you make it clear that your stuff isn't an easy target. 8. Cabins and hallway trickery. Although your cabin should make you feel secure, robbers are aware that even this situation can be easily exploited. When guests leave ships for dinner, performances, or excursions, they could leave valuables in open drawers, unattended baggage, or unlocked doors. If passengers leave their bags in hallways or outside of rooms at port, even hotel rooms close to cruise terminals are getting targeted. There have been instances where burglars have gained access to unoccupied cabins by posing as crew or employees and offering to deliver or check a service. Because a distracted traveler carrying a backpack makes it an accessible target, hallways are always ideal for opportunists. Use the cabin safe for passports, money, and electronics. Always lock your doors and never leave your stuff in hallways or unattended outside rooms. Be skeptical of anyone without clear credentials offering services, whether it's onshore or on board. Vigilance and basic security measures like locks, safe, and controlled access make you far less attractive to thieves. 9. Disembarkation and baggage claim. Disembarkation is a high-risk time. Distracted by enthusiasm or exhaustion, people gather their bags and cruise cards on board. At port baggage claim areas, the risk increases. Anyone can walk in and bags are out in the open. Thieves know that passengers' attention is divided. Passports, boarding passes, tickets, and luggage make multitasking a challenge. I've seen passengers leaving their suitcases unattended while taking photos and talking. Others struggle to identify their bags on crowded carousels. These slip in quietly, taking advantage of the predictable delays. Even a simple mix-up like a black suitcase among dozens can give the perfect cover for a thief. Quickly retrieve your baggage, use tape or colorful tags to identify yours, and be vigilant. Instead of keeping important items in checked luggage, keep them on hand. On board or in port, disembarkation is a moment to keep focused. The sooner you secure your stuff, the smaller the risk. At the last step of travel, opportunistic theft is avoided by prompt, careful action. 10. High-risk ports of call and global awareness. Your risk changes depending on the port. Some cities are extremely safe, others are notorious for pickpocketing scams and opportunistic theft. On board, passengers planning shore excursions need to account for these risks. At ports, crowded streets, markets, and tourist-heavy areas are prime hunting grounds. Thieves frequently work in groups, with one person causing a distraction, another stealing the stuff, and a third keeping an eye on the exits. Fake guides or friendly locals offering assistance or staged mishaps, that's a common strategy. You could be a target if you make even the slightest of mistakes, like leaving your money in your back pocket or a camera hanging over your shoulder. Before you get off the ship, research every port. Find out more about the high-risk areas, the popular scams, and common pickpocketing techniques. Use a safe cross-body bag, keep an eye on your surroundings, and don't carry too many valuables. Being prepared is essential because it significantly lowers the likelihood of theft, whether you're waiting at the port terminal or visiting the city. 11. Buffets, restaurants, and dining areas. Cruise ships and port dining areas are lively and crowded, and that's exactly what makes them dangerous. Passengers are bouncing plates and trays at the busy buffets on board, travelers juggling cash, luggage, and souvenirs, drawn to the local cafes and food markets. In both settings, your attention's split, making it easier for a robber to move in unnoticed. I've seen passengers leave purses on chairs or bags under tables while checking menus, ordering, or paying. A skillful thief can glide past, slide a hand under a chair, and unzip a bag in seconds. The victim often doesn't realize what happens until later, and sometimes only when they get to their cabin or hotel. Thieves look for predictable behavior: loose bags, phones lying on tables, wallets sticking out of pockets, and passengers engrossed in conversation or eating. Even a quick glance away can create an opportunity. Keep your luggage between your feet or on your lap. Wallets and phones should be kept in safe crossbody purses or zipped in pockets. Don't leave anything unattended, not even for a second. Being vigilant removes the easy opportunity that a thief relies on. Whether they're on board ship or dining in a port restaurant, a chaotic setting can be made safe with a little bit of attention to detail. 12. Spa, fitness centers, and public locker areas. Spas and fitness centers are meant for relaxation, but unattended belongings make them prime targets. On ships, gyms and spas have private lockers, while at ports, excursion gyms or public spa areas present similar risks. Thieves know travelers often leave valuables behind while enjoying treatments or workouts. I've seen cases where bags left outside a spa room disappeared in minutes. On a port excursion, a passenger's backpack vanished while snorkeling, illustrating that thieves exploit predictable gaps in attention in both environments. Even small distractions like adjusting headphones or holding onto a towel can give a thief the edge. Locker rooms are particularly dangerous because of the limited visibility. There's plenty of opportunities because staff rarely check every locker. Thieves watch patterns, noticing which passengers seem occupied or which lockers are vacant. Use lockers with personal locks whenever possible. Carry only essentials and store jewelry, phones, and documents in waterproof pouches or leave them in your cabin safe. On shore or on board, staying physically connected to your belongings drastically reduces the risk. A few seconds of vigilance can prevent a loss that might ruin the rest of your day. 13. Elevators, stairwells, and transit areas. On ships and in ports, stairwells and elevators are cramped areas where criminals move swiftly. Narrow corridors, stairwells, and elevators on board make it simple for someone to bump into you and divert your attention while stealing your wallet or luggage. Similar locations can be found in boarding areas or terminals at ports, providing burglars with the same chance to take advantage of preoccupied passengers. Imagine hurrying to the gangway while balancing boarding passes, phones, and a rucksack. To go undetected, a burglar just makes a small distraction like a bump or a fallen object, and a quick look away from your possessions is plenty. Since small areas make it harder to see, theft often goes unnoticed until it's too late. Thieves look for predictable behavior: passengers leaving bags leaning against walls, purses hanging a little too loosely, or luggage left unattended. Keep your bags in your front, Hands on zippers and valuables close. Maintain physical control in elevators, stairwells, and transit areas. Awareness is your best defense, whether navigating the ship or moving through a crowded port terminal. Those small precautions make you an unappealing target. 14. Wi-Fi and charging stations. On ships and at ports, public Wi-Fi and charging stations are handy yet dangerous. Travelers will frequently keep their electronics plugged in while touring decks or taking in performances on cruise ships. Cafes and terminals at ports offer free USB charging, but some stations have been compromised for juice jacking, allowing hackers to access your data or the ability to steal your info. Even without digital tampering, devices left unattended are easy targets for physical theft. In only a few seconds, I've seen phones and tablets vanish from port lounge stations, and the same is true in board lounges. A brief step away is plenty for someone to grab your stuff without anyone noticing. My advice: bring a personal power bank to avoid public outlets. When charging, keep your device close at hand and refrain from connecting sensitive equipment to unfamiliar USB ports. Whether docked at a port or relaxing on board, vigilance prevents both physical and digital theft. Staying aware of your surroundings and keeping electronics in hand reduces the chance of becoming an easy target. 15. Nightlife, bars, and social venues. Theft is most common in bars, nightclubs, and entertainment centers on ships and in port nightlife areas. Dim lighting, alcohol, music, and crowded spaces reduce attentiveness, creating perfect conditions for opportunistic thieves. While dancing on board, passengers leave their phones on the bar or their luggage beneath their seats. Tourists may place their luggage on neighboring chairs or desks at nightclubs or beach bars in ports. Thieves often operate in groups. One distracts, the other grabs, and a third keeps their eye on the exit. Even an experienced traveler can let their guard down in these social environments. You're a predictable target if you're intoxicated, excited, or exhausted. In order to resolve this issue, keep bags and purses on your person or in secure lockers if available. Wallets and phones should always be close at hand and zipped. Whether at port or on board, social awareness is crucial. Even a brief lapse can turn an enjoyable activity into a costly mistake. Staying alert and maintaining control over your belongings ensure you enjoy the nightlife safely. Thieves thrive on distraction, but you're no longer an easy target. Awareness, small habits, and keeping valuables close make all the difference. If this helped, like, share, and subscribe for more travel tips. Stay sharp, stay vigilant, and keep your adventures stress-free.